Hello, my name is Sarah or Lex Ralph from Troupe 8068, and this is my sound design Thespy for She Kills Monsters. I chose this play because of its mystical and magical environment as well as its modern day influences. That way the sound that I could create could be very dynamic and create its own dichotomy. In the beginning of the play, we find out that our main character, Agnes' little sister named Tilly, has died, and she wants to connect with her through her Dungeons and Dragons games and all of her nerdy interests because she no longer can see her sister. And to create this type of environment, I decided that my sound was going to be more silent for real life and more sounds when it comes to a mystical environment. And I wanted my sound cues to be inspired by Into the Woods and how I would view sound for Into the Woods, since it's also a non-realistic environment. So this is our soundboard that we use, which is connected to our amp over there, the huge box, and our overhead mics are connected to this amp, and we have speakers all the way up there which the amp is connected to. For my sound, I used a website called EarSketch to code my sound using Python. Here is my first sound cue, which is when the Dungeon Master or the DM Chuck helps Agnes learn the characters in Dungeons and Dragons, their introductions. For this cue, I spliced together this sound, this bass with this piano and this synth bass, which usually you're not supposed to use two basses, but I thought that for this environment it'd be acceptable. I used the first bass, the bass lead, throughout the full song, not stopping. I brought the piano in during the, I think, second or third measure, and then I brought the second bass in during the fourth measure. Yeah. My second cue is actually non-copyrighted free use music because I thought that'd be more acceptable for this environment, since I don't think I could personally make this sound, which is for when Agnes is in the Dungeons and Dragons world, the mystical world, and she's about to fight a orchis or a demon, and this is how it would go. For this scene, it's where a fairy named Farah is dancing. It's technically written in the script, but TLC's Waterfalls is copyrighted, so I assumed we wouldn't be able to use it for this play if I was putting it on. So instead, I chose a 90s-ish song, a 90s-ish beat, so that we would be able to feel the same vibe. My final sound cue is based around the final battle, which is actually a dance battle between Agnes, our main character, and what we know as her D&D crew. And we know that the people they're battling are in real life cheerleaders, and that this dance battle would probably have some type of cheerleading aspect into it. And when we think about competitive cheer, we think about hip hop. And we know that music only exists in this mystical world. So keeping the hip hop and keeping the mystical world, I decided to do this sound cue, which I also used Ear Sketch and Python coding for. Let me reset this back. And that's it.